State of Nevada is under a stay-at-home order, of course, and we're told to stay at least 6 feet apart if we do go out. But we continue to see people breaking the rules in crowded stores and parking lots, parks as well, same as you. Beginning our team coverage tonight, News 3's Gabby Hart looks at how the definition of essential activities depends on who you ask.
Well, Jim, right now this parking lot is empty, but it was a much different story earlier in the day when the store was open. We saw cars in and out of this parking lot and people in and out of the store. Some of them came just for essentials, the things they needed, but others openly admitted that they were only here because they needed a break from being at home.
Stay home for our state.
On Wednesday, Governor Sisolak announced a stay-at-home order for all Nevadans until April 30th, telling residents
Nevadans must not leave their homes for non-essential activities.
But it seems everyone has their own definition of what's essential.
We saw some Heineken and stuff like that, so
That's essential.
We've seen crowded parks with friends exercising and playing sports together.
With the same football, transferring of germs, we are not particularly worried about that too much. Make sure once you're finished playing, you go sanitize, do the appropriate hygiene cleansing.
We've also seen crowded grocery and home improvement stores, with some people admitting they came
just to get out of the house. You're cooped up all the time, and you just got to get out. Go for a walk, but you can only go for a walk so many times. You want to see other things.
Jennifer Baylor says she's been jogging and staying home, but she decided to head to Home Depot to get some plants for her garden.
I've seen some people on social media saying, this is not essential, stay at home. What do you say to those people?
For our own health and well-being, we have to do something together at the house.
And many people share her sentiment, whether it's heading to a store or to a park.
I kind of needed to get out of the house just for mental sanity.
So what are the governor's guidelines for only leaving the house for essential purposes?
This order still allows essential businesses to function, like grocery stores, going to the doctor's office, and driving to an essential business. It also allows outdoor activities like walking, jogging, biking, and hiking.
And it's important to keep in mind that even when you're doing those essential activities, you're still practicing social distancing as well as good hygiene, like wiping down the shopping carts or any other items that you might be touching. Now, Governor Sisolak says at this time he doesn't find it necessary to put fines in place for people who aren't following those directives. He says at this point he's just counting on every Nevadan to do their part. I'm reporting from Henderson. Gabby Hart, News 3.
So you just heard.
Helping to save those lives, a doctor working inside 2 hospitals in New York City overflowing with COVID-19 patients. Sinclair national correspondent James Rosen brings us that interview. And we do want to warn you before we go in that the images in this report show the harsh realities of the front lines in the fight for life.
You sort of feel when you go into the hospital that there's this silent killer roaming the hallways, and you can't really escape this killer unless you protect yourselves with the proper gear. And we don't always have all the gear that we need, quite frankly, because we're running low. Every institution is running low now.
From Dr. Stuart Ditchek of Maimonides Medical Center in Brooklyn and NYU Langone Health Center in Manhattan, a grim picture of the current ground zero in the coronavirus outbreak. With more than 13,000 New York State residents hospitalized, a population that grew by nearly 9% in 24 hours, President Trump and Vice President Pence have tried to sound reassuring about the federal government's ability to surge supplies of the medical equipment doctors say they need most urgently.
And we're making great progress in building personal protective equipment and ensuring that ventilators are available, particularly for the communities most impacted.
We're soon going to have more ventilators than we need. We've already agreed to ship out over 1,000 today to different sites, different locations.
But Dr. Ditchek estimates the Empire State needs at least 16,000 additional ventilators in the next 3 days. And not even the state's governor, who spoke to President Trump this morning, believes Uncle Sam can produce them.
I don't think the federal government is in a position to provide ventilators to the extent the nation may need them. That's why our attitude here is, we're on our own.
And in an age where everyone feels vulnerable and unprotected, the anxiety is most acute for healthcare personnel, truly serving on the front lines against a disease they've never encountered before.
That's right. Good evening, everybody. Thanks to the coronavirus, that's your new college campus.
So, talk about social distancing.
It was
a pretty difficult adjustment.
Meet UNLV sophomore Janae Ritchie-Dean. Instead of being at UNLV, she's back at home in Hawaii. Class for her is now a computer.
Definitely online, it takes away that aspect of the classroom and really being able to sit there and discuss with your teachers and your peers.
Such as college in the year of the coronavirus, which closed Nevada's institutions of higher learning. For thousands of students, education is now online. Tom Riley is our higher education chancellor.
I can say that our faculty and our students really stepped up and adapted. We are on track to ensure that no one is losing credits, that they will be able to graduate on time.
And that graduation is also changing. Riley tells me the ceremonies this spring are being postponed and most likely rescheduled later when hopefully the virus is receding.
So that would either be combined with a summer or fall graduation or a separate time where students can come back and be, celebrated in the traditional fashion of graduation.
Closing campus forced thousands of students living in dorms to leave. Students like Janae were lucky she had a home to go to. Other students did not. Nevada allowed those young people to stay in their rooms. 10% remain at UNLV, 5% remain up at UNR.
They're former foster kids, they're the homeless youth, they're international students who can't return, but there's individuals that do not have a home to return to.
That's one way the coronavirus hit. The other, how the university system reached out to help. We showed you how the UNLV School of Medicine swung into action to provide drive-through testing. Higher ed is doing other things too.
We have groups looking at making masks, working with the homeless population. So many of our students and faculty have really kind of stepped up, particularly in
UFC President Dana White is doing everything in his power to keep UFC 249 going, even though lightweight champ Khabib Nurmagomedov says he's stuck in Russia and will not fight April 18th, wherever the fight is. Now, reports have Justin Gaethje as the replacement, although it's not official yet. Now, recently, I spoke with middleweight Uriah Hall, who's also on the UFC 249 card, even though there's no announced location and self-isolation has made it really, really tough. Here's his thoughts.
Now it's like ninja training, it's like Rocky stuff, it's like locking yourself in the gym and, becoming isolated. As far as everything, I don't have the full disclosure on it. For all I know, I'm still fighting. All the events were canceled before my event. Dana somehow knows something I don't, because he's swear up and down, we're going to fight. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. And I'm like, wait, where? So it is what it is, and we're still training. It's kind of a weird thing to explain, but it's a weird grit, It's like with the gyms being closed, with not everything being as structured, with what's going on with the coronavirus, with everyone. Man, you can't even cough no more, dude. Like, literally, you cough, you better, act like it's a song you're trying to sing. So it's just a different environment. There's less people on the road, and then on top of that, you're stressed out because you can't get a certain formidable training regimen that you're used to. So it's just staying motivated and staying positive, and I think surrounding yourself with the right mindset and people. But one of the main things I've done is I've accepted what's happening, and I think a lot of people haven't accepted it. So